I am here to explain one of parts of speech, namely adjective. Are you ready? When you hear the word adjective, think about something descriptive. It is because adjectives are words that describe or modify other words, making your writing and speaking much more specific and a whole lot more interesting. Words like small, blue, and sharp are descriptive, and they are all examples of adjectives. Because adjectives are used to identify or quantify individual people or things, they are usually positioned before the noun or pronoun that they modify. Some sentences contain multiple adjectives. Adjectives answer the questions what kind, which one or ones, how many, or how much. For example, car. Car is a noun, and we know the meaning of car. If we add an adjective before car, it will create another meaning. Yellow car. Now, the car we are talking about is more specific. Which car? The car that the color is yellow. Another example. Two cars. Now we are talking about the quantity of car because we add the adjective two before the noun cars. Adjectives take many forms. Some common adjectives are formed when we add a suffix to a noun or a verb. For example, when we add the suffix full to the noun beauty makes the adjective beautiful, and adding the suffix able to the verb read makes this adjective readable. Some adjectives take the form of participles, verb ending in ed or ing, and many others are not formed from nouns or verbs but are original in themselves. For example, close, deep, and slow. There are many types of adjectives. In this video, we will discuss 8 of them. These are the types of adjectives. Proper adjective. You may have heard about proper nouns. They are nouns that are capitalized, typically people's names, cities, countries, brands, or days of the week. Proper adjectives are capitalized adjectives derived from proper nouns. Typically, proper adjectives take proper nouns and shift their function to fill the role of an adjective. Example, we bought cheddar cheese. The adjective cheddar is a common adjective. We bought French cheese. The adjective French is a proper adjective because it is derived from the proper noun France. Proper adjectives allows us to summarize a concept in just one word. Instead of writing or saying a food cooked in Chinese recipe, you can write or say Chinese food. Proper adjectives are mostly of two types. Those that come from names of places. Asian, from Asia. How many Asian countries have you visited? Amazonian, from Amazon. They cut their way through the Amazonian rainforest. 2. Those that come from names of people. Shakespearean, from William Shakespeare. How many Shakespearean plays have been made into films? Buddhist, from Gautama Buddha. This is the most famous of the Buddhist temples here. Here are some examples of proper adjectives in sentences. German chocolate cake is very rich in flavor and texture. The Japanese paper cranes are meant for good luck. I dream of Hawaiian getaway, and etc. Qualitative adjective. Qualitative adjectives are also called descriptive and attributive adjectives. This type of adjective can be simply defined as the type of adjectives that are used to express the size, color, or shape of a person, a thing, an animal, or a place. This kind of adjective describes a noun in detail by giving an attribute to that word. It usually expresses things that are observable through the five senses. The following are the examples of qualitative adjectives related to the five senses. These are the examples of sentences using qualitative adjective. Qualitative adjectives are gradable into three forms. These forms denote degree of comparison. They are positive, comparative, and superlative form. Positive form denote the quality. Comparative form denote the comparison of two things having similar qualities, and superlative form denote the highest degree of quality. These are the example of adjective from the three forms. Quantitative adjective. A quantitative adjective provides information about the quantity of the nouns or pronouns. Adjectives of quantity indicates the amount or estimated amount of the noun or pronoun in a sentence. It tells the amount of noun only in relative whole terms. However, it doesn't provide information about exact numbers. It indicates how much noun is there in the sentence. Examples of quantitative adjectives: some, few, little, no, any, etc. For example, she ate some roasted chicken. Before the noun phrase roasted chicken, there is the adjective some. It indicates the amount or how much roasted chicken she ate. The uses of quantitative adjectives in sentences are as follows. Numeral adjective. Numeral adjectives belong to quantitative adjectives. They are also commonly called adjectives of number. They are those adjectives which are used to denote the number of nouns or the order in which they stand. In simpler terms, we can say that adjective of numbers tells us the number of people or things and maintain clarity by giving exact information. They are further divided into two main classes: indefinite numerals and definite numerals. Definite numerals show some exact number. They are of three kinds: cardinals, ordinals, and multiplicative. Cardinal numeral adjective denotes or expresses a definite number of a noun. For example, 1, 2, 5, 60, 200, etc. There are 60 students in our class. An ordinal numeral adjective denotes or expresses the order or position of a noun or a pronoun. First, second, third, 10th, etc. January is the first month of the year. A multiplicative numeral adjective denotes the times of a number of a noun or a pronoun. Single, double, triple, quadruple. Many inconsiderate doctors take double fees from the patients. An indefinite numeral adjective shows indefinite number of a noun. It doesn't show the exact number. For example, he has sold all the books. Some students are digging soil in the college garden. There is no man in the field.
So, Miss, indefinite numeral adjective is the same as quantitative adjective?
They are quite different. The difference between indefinite numerals adjective and adjective of quantity is that indefinite numeral adjectives are used with countable nouns, while adjective of quantity are used with uncountable nouns. For examples, he had some bread. It is quantitative adjective. He had some cherries. It is a numeral adjective. Here are some differences between adjective of number and adjective of quantity.
Wow! Understood, Miss?
Distributive adjective. Distributive adjectives point out specific entities. Distributive numeral adjectives refer to individual nouns within the whole amount. This is the example of distributive adjective. Each, every, either or neither, any. For example, the sentence, the members of the group are playing well, doesn't specify whether all the group's members are playing well. Rather, this is conveyed by the sentence, each member of the group is playing well. It refers to every individual person in that group. Each. Each is used to show that certain condition is applied to everyone in a group or mass. If the noun that represents the group is plural, we use each of instead. These are the examples. Every means all those which can be counted without an exception. Every and each are similar and interchangeable on most occasions. And these are the example. Either means one or another among two available options. These are the sentences using adjective either. Neither means none of the two options available. These are the sentences using adjective neither. Any means at least one type or no matter what type is available. These are the sentences using adjective any. Demonstrative adjective. Demonstrative adjectives point to which noun or pronoun you are speaking about. It's especially helpful when you want to make it clear which person or thing you would like to talk about, whether it's near or far, singular or plural. These four words are demonstrative adjectives. This, that, these, those. When you use a demonstrative adjective, the reader will know you want to talk about this cat on the couch, not that one on the floor. You can even use a demonstrative adjective to emphasize which object you are talking about. For example, that pie was delicious. Here is a sentence without a demonstrative adjective. The tree is beautiful. If the speaker were in a forest, this would be a very confusing statement. The audience might question, which tree? Here is a sentence with a demonstrative adjective. That tree is beautiful. This sentence clarifies any confusions and identifies a specific tree. Which tree is beautiful? That tree. Demonstrative adjectives this and that are used for singular nouns. This is used for a noun in close proximity. For example, this is my favorite sweater. In this sentence, the speaker likely has the sweater in front of him or her or is holding the sweater. That is used for a noun at greater distance. For example, that is my favorite sweater. In this sentence, the speaker is likely pointing out to a specific sweater. Perhaps it is across the room or in someone else's possession. Demonstrative adjectives these and those are used for plural nouns. This is used for plural nouns in close proximity. For example, these cookies are delicious. In this sentence, the speaker likely has the cookies in front of him or is eating the cookies. Those is used for greater distance. For example, those cookies are delicious. In the sentence, the speaker is likely pointing to specific cookies. Perhaps the cookies are on a plate in the kitchen or someone else is eating them. As I said before in the previous videos, demonstrative adjectives and pronouns are identical but they are different, so don't be tricked. Remember, adjectives modify nouns, pronouns replace nouns. Interrogative adjective. Like all adjectives, interrogative adjectives modify nouns and pronouns. They are words similar to interrogative pronouns, but they can't stand on their own. English has three interrogative adjectives: what, which, and whose. They are called interrogative because they are usually used to ask questions. These are the examples. In each of the examples, the interrogative adjective modifies the noun it immediately precedes: book, shirt, and computer. What and which. Although what and which are often interchangeable, there is a subtle difference between two. Generally, we use what when the amount of possible answer is unknown or unlimited, and we use which when we either know how many choices there are or we consider the option to be more limited. Think about the difference between these two sentences. What movie do you want to see? Which movie do you want to see? In the first sentence, it seems like the options are unlimited, while in the second sentence, the speaker may have been discussing 2 or 3 movies with the listeners, and they are trying to make a final decision. Whose. Whose is an adjective that denotes possession or belonging. We can use it to ask who the owner of an object is. For examples, whose bags are on the floor, whose book is this, whose turn is it? In these examples, the speaker is trying to find out who the bags, book, and turn belong to. Possessive adjective. We had a brief explanation about possessive adjective in the previous video. Now we will have further discussion about it. There is also a chance that you know these words by other names. Some people call them possessives or weak pronouns. A possessive adjective indicates possession or ownership. It suggests the belongingness of something to someone or something. These are the examples of possessive adjectives. All these adjectives always come before a noun. Unlike possessive pronouns, these words demand a noun after them. That is his baseball cap. In the sentence above, the possessive adjective his shows who owns the noun baseball cap. Another example, I think Judy will miss her flight. Although the possessive adjective her is used in the sample sentence above, it doesn't necessarily mean that Judy owns the flight. The phrase her flight just refers to the flight that Judy will take and travel on. My mother is here. Obviously, one cannot own a specific person. So in this example, the possessive adjective my indicates a close personal relationship with the noun mother. And here are other examples using possessive adjectives. Here is the end of this video about adjectives, the magic words that modify nouns. How are you doing so far, Cindy?
Each video made my knowledge about part of speech enhanced.
We will meet again in other videos discussing parts of speech. Have a nice day, everyone!